So yeah, I'm here. It's 5:30. So yeah, I was about to write between 4:30 to 5:30, but I just wrote 4:30 to 5. So yeah, um, let's start the live. So the topic covered today is percentages, and just give me a second. Thank you so much. You've been wonderful audience. Now I'm back. Yeah. So we're going to discuss percentages because there was a demand to cover percentages. Next is for scatter plots. So we'll come back to word problems. We have done linear equations, linear functions, and linear equation in two variable, one and two variables. There are only two topics in word problems remaining: system of linear equations and linear inequalities. So that we'll cover soon after we're taking break from the word problems now. So today we're going to discuss percentages. Percentages is a part of problem solving and data analysis. And yeah, so like I told you before, there are four domains in SAT: Heart of Algebra, Passport to Advanced Math, problem solving and data analysis, geometry and trigonometry. So problem solving and data analysis, you're going to get 5 to 7 questions. That's the that's what the college board says. So yeah, and from percentages you can get 2 to 3 questions. Yeah, but what happens with percentages is that it is not just used here. As we saw in linear functions and linear equations in one variable, there were several questions like the discount questions or the percentage questions, like you have 60% off, or there is it is 60% or 40% of this or that. So percentage questions are also used elsewhere, and also in exponential functions percentages are again used, because whenever there's a percentage increase, it is going to be a exponential function. So it has its applications other than just percentages. So that is why it is an important topic, and it is also used in geometry and trigonometry. We haven't done word problems and volumes and surface area. So in surface area and volumes also you will see that you will have the percentages there as well. Yeah, so an important topic. So first, what is the meaning of percentages? Hi Spev, hi, I saw your message. Yeah, so I was saying, yeah. So what is the meaning of percentage? Percentage is a fraction only, but you want to know how much out of 100. So whenever you want to know how much out of 100, we use percentages. 40% means 40 out of 100. 35% means 35 out of 100. Hi Spev, thank you for subscribing. Yeah. And I hope these videos are helping you. You're from Nepal. Oh my God, you're our neighboring country. I'm from India. So Nepal, in Nepal also you can give SET. I'm just curious. I know you can give it from anywhere, but are you also preparing for SET? Good. Yeah. All the best to your exam, and I hope these videos are helping you. And please keep practicing, because I'm also not able to cover everything over here. So do more practice as well. So I will just pull up what we have here. Right now you cannot see it, so I'm just going to. Here we are. So now you can see the questions. Again, like the process that we have been following, we'll start from easy questions, then medium questions, and then go to the hard questions. So how many easy questions are there? Let's see. I have my Excel sheet ready. 21. So out of 53, 21 questions are easy questions. So without further delay, let's start. Also, I came early. I'm scoring 1400. I want to score above 1500. Yes. Yeah, because above 1500 is a good score. And yes, you can definitely improve. So you only have to like focus more on medium questions and the hard questions. I think that will improve your score a lot. And whatever your weak areas, just keep working on that. Yeah. So the first easy also because today is because I live in Mumbai and Ganesh Chaturthi is the biggest festival in Mumbai and there's a lot of noise that is going to start. That is why I came early because usually I come at 8 or like at a later time. So today I was like before the Visarjan starts, we should be done. I don't know. We will be in the last leg of it, but yeah, because there'll be a lot of noise, there'll be a lot of dhol, like a lot of yeah, lot of music. So the first easy question is question number 3. That's on page number 3. Also, I will also try to post the solutions in the update the drive link because I haven't done it for the last 2 or 3 sessions. I will try to do it today only so that you can see the solutions as well and the questions as well. So question number 3, there's a table given 6 different years. Okay. What was the percent increase of the minimum wage from 1960 to 1970? So from 1960 to 1970, percent increase. So first we'll see the formula. So whenever there is a change, so percent increase, that means you want to find out the percentage of the change. So it is always increase divided by original. Original means the first value. Okay. Slash from times 100. Increase is new minus old divided by old also is correct. So instead of original, I'm going to write old. Also new, the keyword is whatever comes after to. For old, the keyword is whatever comes after from. So in this particular question, from 1960 to 1970, so 1970 is your new, 1960 is your old. And you have to look at the minimum wage. So now you go to the table. This is your new 1.6, old is 1. Now this is fairly simple question because you're just dividing with 1. So 1.6 minus 1 divided by 1 times 100. 0.6 times 100, that is 60%. Okay, so the answer is 60%. So I will write the, yeah. So just remember the formula and you'll be good to go. Okay. So whenever you want to find out the percentage of increase or percentage of decrease, for that matter, for example, percentage of change. So what you can do, it is always going to be, you have to first find the change. Change is always new minus old. To minus from. Like where have you reached and where you began. You subtract both of them and then divided by the old value where you began times 100. That's the formula that we are using over here. And now let's just, hi free run Nexus. Hi Bikesa. Hi Aryan. Yeah, Aryan, are you saying the answer is B? So the answer 60% was that B option. Let me check. Yeah, B is correct. Next easy question is question number 6. What percentage of 300 is 75? So for this, what my method is, for example, x percent of y is z. I am just using variables right now. So the equation is x over 100 times y is equal to z. You can write it like this. So what percentage of 300 is 75? So we have x percent of 300 is 75. So your equation will be x over 100 times 300 is equal to 75. Of means multiply, percentage or percent means divide by 100. What means you can always write x. So 3x equals 75, x is going to be 25. So 25%. Okay. That is how I see here. 25 is the correct answer, A. So that is how I solve it, but there are several other methods through which you can solve it. You can directly apply the formulas as well, but with this equation, you can find out anything. Okay. So now the next, okay, let me just put it over here so that I don't get confused here. Next easy question is question number 7. In 7, the cost of a certain shirt is $20 before a 5% sales tax is added. What is the total cost including sales tax to purchase a shirt? So your sales tax is 5% of $20. That's going to be $1. So your sales tax is $1. So the cost after tax is going to be $21. 20 plus 1, because when the tax you have to add. So whenever they're deducting taxes, that means they're adding it. Okay. That is first method. The second method is because there's a 5% sales tax. So your cost is going to be, you can add 5% to 1, that is 0.05 times 20. So you can directly do 1.05 times 20. That's the second method. 105 times 2 is going to be 210. So the answer is going to be $21.00. So both methods are correct. You can first find sales tax and add it, or you can directly multiply 1.05 because your sales tax is 5%. 5% means 0.055 over 100. Okay. And you add it to 1 and multiply with the cost. Okay. I prefer the second method. Ma'am, if I solve all SED question bank, can I score above 700? Yes. Uh, so basically what I suggest is you do all the, yeah. So what I would suggest is do Khan Academy. Okay, because in Khan Academy also you have foundation problems, medium problems, and the advanced problems. And then the Blue Book practice test, all 6 practice, but you don't even need a practice test, you can skip, you can do it later on because in your question banks, those questions are already included. So if you do question banks, if you do Khan Academy, and then if you do Blue Book practice test, I think that is enough to get above 700. Yeah. Because there are few questions that are different in Khan Academy, word problems and the way of asking questions. If you have already done advanced portion of Khan Academy, that's great. So now the question bank and the Blue Book practice test, I think that should be enough. But redo all the questions. So what happens, you don't have to do it just once. Wherever you're having trouble, just redo those questions. Do them again and again and again. And there's something known as derived questions. For example, if there's a question, now you start thinking, they're asking this particular one thing. But what else they could have asked from this question? Like what else questions can be made from here? For example, for this particular question, I will give you an example. So over here, they've given you the original cost. They've given you how much sales tax is added. They just wanted to know the total cost, including the sales tax, to purchase it short. Other derived question from here could have been they give you the original cost, they give you the new cost, and you have to find how much sales tax you're paying, like how much percentage of sales tax they are deducting, or how much sales tax in dollars you're paying. Okay, that could be the other question. Or they've given you the cost including the taxes, they've given you the taxes, you have to find the original cost. So these are 3 different types of questions they can ask whenever they are using sales tax. So just think of what other kind of questions could come and what my process will be of solving those questions. Next is question number 10. And also just Desmos. Keep experimenting on Desmos. Can I solve this question using Desmos? Can I use Desmos for this? So that is also a good, because if you're good at Desmos, that's also a huge help because you're saving time. Now question number 10. Yeah. Let me just, Yeah. So last year, 200 students enrolled in an interior design program. This year, the number of students enrolled is 147% of last year's number. How many students are enrolled in the interior design program this year? So this year, the number of students is 147% of last year's number. So equation is this here is means equal to 147% means 147 over 100 of means multiplication times last year. And they're asking how many students are enrolled in the interior design program this year. So this year we do not know. Last year 200 students, so times 200. So basically you just have to do 147 times 2. That is 294. So this year 294 students are enrolled. Because this is an easy question, they're just asking how many students are enrolled. To make it a difficult question, what they can do, they will say like for example, yeah, 200 students were enrolled last year. Hi Sandesh. And 147%, it's 147% of last year's number. How much increase is there in the number of students? So increase is going to be 94. Okay? Because if it is 147% of last year, 47% is the increase. So that is how they can increase the complexity of the question. Next easy question is going to be question number 12. Yes, Aryan, the answer is correct. It's 294. Again, what is 23% of 100? So what you do not know? X is equal to 23 over 100 times 100 is just 23. So 23, like I said in the beginning, 35% of 100 is 35 because 35 out of 100. Similarly, if you have like any percentage, A% of 100, answer is going to be A only. Okay? So answer is just 23. You don't even need to solve it. For example, if they're asking like any percentage of 50, then you have to multiply it with 2. To get the number, you have to divide it by 2. To get the percentage, you have to multiply it with 2. All right? Now the next problem is 12, question number 12. Oh, this was 12. Next is question number 15. What is 10% of 470? So this also you don't need to solve. I will just directly tell you. Whenever you have to find 10%, you just divide by 10. 47 is the answer. So 10% of any number B is going to be B over 10. How do I know? Because 10 over 100 times B becomes B over 10. So if you're finding 10%, you just have to remove 1 0, or if there is no 0, then just put decimal before the last digit. If it were 10% of 47, answer will be 4.7. All right? Yeah, 23 is the correct one. For the previous question, for this one it is 47. Next is question number 21. The length of the base of a certain parallelogram is 89% of the height of the parallelogram. Which expression represents the length of the base of the parallelogram where h is the height of the parallelogram? So length of the base, that means just base is 89% of height. This means equal, 89% means 89 over 100, that is 0.89. Height is given as h. And they want to know what is the length of base only. So this is going to be 0.89 h. Okay, so how do you divide by 100 if there is no 0? You just put the decimal before last two digits. Last two digits are 89, so you put a decimal before that. So it's going to be 0.89 each. Next one is question number 22. Okay, where do people get most of their medical information? From doctor, they get 63% of the people who were surveyed. Internet is 13%, magazine, brochures is 9%, pharmacy is 6%, television is 2%, other or none of the above is 7%. The table above shows a summary of 1200 responses to a survey question. So 1200 people responded, and out of these, they're finding the percentages. Based on the table, how many of those surveyed get most of their medical information from either a doctor or the internet? So if you are saying either the doctor or the internet, that means you have to add two percentages. So 63% plus 13% is going to be 76%. And basically, how many of those surveyed? So it is 76% of the total, right? So this is going to be 76% of 1200. You don't even need to solve it now. I'm going to tell you a Desmos hack. You go to Desmos, you just write 76%. It will automatically add off, and you're finding of 1200. Answer is 912. Got it? So you don't even need to make a like proper equation out of it. You can directly, no need to divide by 100 or what is the meaning of nothing. You just have to write 76% off, it will automatically include 1200. Got it? So yeah. And now I will try to like solve questions using Desmos because I'm used to mental math a lot. But I will, for this question like I use, I will try to use for the other questions as well. Next question number 23 is also easy. Of 9, so how do you know which one is your whole, which one is your part? Like what is your 100%? 900,000. So 828,000 are silver. What percentage of the beads are silver? So what percentages of the beads are silver? Beads are how much? Beads are 900,000. Silver are how much? 828,000. So what is your equation? What percentage we do not know? X percent of 900,000 is equal to R is means equal 828,000 because silver is 828,000. You just have to go to the Desmos, type this, you will get your answer. This is method 1. There's a second method as well. So we're writing X percent of, they have already included 900,000 equals 828,000. 828,000,950. So yeah, you can't see anything, zoom out. 92%. The second method is to find the percentage, it is always part over whole divided by 100. Sorry, times 100. So you have to find the percentage. Part is 828,000 divided by 900,000 times 100. You will get your answer. You just have to do 828 divided by 9. That's going to be 92%. So that is also fine if you remember the formulas, great. If you don't, just remember this equation. You can get the percentage, you can get the whole, you can get the part, you can get anything from this equation. Next question is question number 28. If you will see, most of the questions in percentages are word problems only. So there are a total of 840 seats in school auditorium. Okay. During assembly, students occupied 50% of the seats in the auditorium. How many seats did the students occupy during the assembly? So whenever you have to find 50% of any number, answer is going to be x over 2. And if I say A, because 50% means half, because 50 is half of 100. So you just have to do 840 divided by 2. Answer is going to be 420. So remember, 50% is half, 10% is divided by 10, 25% is divided by 4, 75% is multiplied with 3/4. Okay? So that will improve your timing. If you remember it directly, you won't have to solve or do anything. And if you want to do it normally, 50% are occupied. So 50% of 840 is equal to x, because that is how much they are occupied. And like I told you, now you can go to Desmos and just write 50% of 840. Answer is 420. Okay, but a quick fix is, remember, I will write here as well. 10% of A is going to be A over 10. 50% of A is going to be A over 2. And then 25% is going to be, you have to divide with 4. And 75% means 3/4 times A. And if you have to find 20%, you find 10% multiplied with 2. So that is how you can do it. All right. Now moving to the next question is question number 29. Okay, I'm just going to put it here for one more second, like few more seconds, so that you can see it. Now we'll move to the next question. Isabel grows potatoes in her garden. This year she harvested 760 potatoes and saved 10% of them to plant next year. How many of the harvested potatoes did Isabel have to save to plant next year? So it's 10% of them means harvested. So you just have to find 10% of 760, and we already have the table. It's going to be 76. Because she's saving 10%, so it's just going to be 760 divided by 10, 76. Or you can also go to Desmos and get your answer, but I will prefer that you remember this. Next one is question number 31. Lani spent 15% of her 8-hour workday in meetings. How many minutes of her workday did she spend in meetings? How many minutes of her workday? It's 15% of her 8-hour workday. So you just have to find 15% of 8. 15% of 8. You have your answer, 1.2. Got it? Directly put this in Desmos. Yeah, next one is question number 34. There are 170 blocks in a container. Of these blocks, 10% are green. How many blocks in the container are green? Answer is 17, because 10% of 170 is going to be 170 over 10, that is just 17. So it's so much easier if you just remember that for 10, you just have to divide by 10. Next is question number 35. Okay, call ratings are given to us. Supervisor at a call center reviewed 500 calls. So total calls are 500. Taken by 4 employees and rated the employee's performance on each call on scale from 1 star to 4 stars that we can see. The rating is given in the table according to the table to nearest whole person. So nearest whole person. It's also important you read the question like where they want the answer. If it's nearest 10th percent or nearest whole percent. What percent of employees' calls received a rating of 1 star? So employee A's calls are 145. So your equation is going to be what percent means X? We do not know. Employees A calls are how much? 145. Received is our cost, whatever that is equal to rating of 1 star. 1 star is how much? 16. So your equation is going to be X percent of 145 is equal to 16. Just type it over here. The only mistake that students can do is they can do X percent of 500. No, they're not asking what percent of total calls received a rating of 1 star. They just want to know what percent of employees A's calls. So it's percentage of employee A's calls received a rating of 1 star. So for employee A, the calls are 145. This is also known as two-way table. We'll also be seeing this in probability when we will do probability or two variable statistics. That's where we'll see these two-way tables. Because there are two variables over here, stars, employees. Yeah, now you just go to Desmos. You don't have to do anything. X percent of 145 is equal to 16. So your job is to only identify what each variable means. Answer is 11.03. So that's 11%. Because you're getting X is equal to 11. Okay. Next is question number 36. Let me see how many more questions. There are a lot of them. Yeah, there are a lot of them. So 36. There were approximately 113,000 occupational therapy jobs in the United States in 2012. Okay, the Bureau of Labor Statistics has projected that this number will increase by, so now it is not increasing to, it is increasing by 29%. So the total is going to be 129% because 100 plus 29%. From 2012 to 22, of the following, which is the closest to the number of occupational therapy jobs in 2022? There were 113,000 in 2012. So increase by 29% means 129% of 2012 because you have to do 100 plus 12 because originally it is 100%. Okay, and that is going to be equal to 20 to 22 number. So you just have to write in Desmos 129% of 113,000. That's your method one. The other method, what people do is they first find the 29% and then they add it to the normal one. I am not a great fan of that. I am like, add the percentages rather than finding the percentage and then adding the numbers. But I will show you that method as well. 129% of 113,000. 145,770. 145. And they're saying closest to the number. So 145,800 is the answer. In the second method, what they will do, because it is increasing by 29%, they will find 29% of 113,000 32,770. And then they will add 113,000 to this number. So again, you will get 145,770. Or you can write 113,000 plus 29% of 113,000. Okay, so this also many people do. I like to know the total percentage and then go forward. So in increase by, we will be adding in from with 100, and decrease by will be subtracting from 100. Next one is question number 37. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your last 6 questions remaining. So in 37, a waiter receives tips from each customer. On average, the tip is 15% of the customer bill. At this rate, which of the following is the closest to the tip the waiter can expect when a customer has a bill that is 78.20? So tip is 15% of customer's bill. And what they want to find out, they want to find out the tip. Bill is 78.20. So tip is 15% of customer's bill is 78.20. They could have also given you the tip that he received this much tip, how much is the bill. So you will just write the equation, x will come here and whatever number was given will come over here. Now we're finding 10% of 78, 15% of 78.20. 11.73. Now the question is asking closest. So closest is $12. Okay. Last 5 questions remaining. Question number 42. I stopped writing the numbers. During a sale, the original prices of all the items in a clothing store have been reduced by 80%. So reduced by 80%, that means now there are 80% of the original. What is the sale price of a jacket with an original price of $50? 5 times 8 is 40, so the answer is $40. Okay. So how I did it, because it is reduced, so you can also find 20%. 10% is going to be 5, 20% is going to be double of that, that is 10. So you're reducing by 10, the answer is 40. I will write both the methods. So this is 80% of original. 80% of 50. So just 8 times 5, that is 40. Okay. Because 10% is going to be 5, so 80% is going to be 8 times 5, 40. Second method, like I told you, what they can do, they will do 50 minus 20% of 50. Now 50 minus 5 times 2 is 10. You can also use decimals, but this was an easy question. So you can do both the methods, okay? Because they are reducing by, so you will subtract. Whichever method you can like, you can use it. Next is question number 44. What is 10% of 370, 37? Because you just have to remove the 0. Divide by 10. Basically, that's what we are doing. $46. is the next question number. That's an easy problem. And this is the third last problem. After that, we have just two more. Yeah, see? So Rita's total bill at a restaurant was $25, including tax. If she left a tip of 20% of the total bill, okay. After, like, she has the tax, she's also giving a tip that is 20% of the total bill. What was the amount of the tip? So $2.55 is the answer, because you have to find 20%. So 10% of 25 is going to be 25 divided by 10. That is 2.5. So 20% is going to be, this is for mental math. 2.5 times 2, because 20% is double of 10. So the answer is $5. Second method, you can directly just write it in Desmos. Okay? 5. Next one is question number 48. What number is 20% greater than 60? Okay, so it has to be 120% of 60. Greater than means you're adding, okay? So basically you're finding 120% of 60. That is going to be 72. Because you can cancel the zeros, that is 72. Or like I'm saying, the second method could be 60 plus, because greater than means you have to add something to 60. What you're adding 20% of 60. That's 12. Because 10% is 6, 20% is going to be 12. You can always use Desmos, but I've solved this using mental math. Alright? Because you should know 20% of what? 20% of 60, because you're comparing with 60. So it's 20% of 60 plus 60, or 120% of 60, because 100 plus 20 is 120%. I hope you get this. Next one is question number 49. This is the last easy problem. All of them are word problems. The entire percentages is word problems. Out of 300 seeds were planted, that means 100% is 300. 80% sprouted. How many of these seeds sprouted? So we're finding 80% of 300. So 8 times 3 is 24. So the answer is going to be 240. Because 100 you can cancel. This will just be 80 times 3. 240 is my answer. So for this also, I don't think there's need to go to Desmos. But if you want, you can go and you can write. Okay. So yeah, that is it. We are done with the easy problems. And now soon we'll be moving to the medium problems. Okay. And like I always do, I don't get the answers, but still I'll do it this time. So I will, because I will go and take a break, drink water, and just eat something to regain the energy. So, but I will drop a medium question, like I will show you the first medium question. If you want, you can solve it. So the first medium question is 16 questions on medium. Question number 8 is the first one. Here we are, there are a lot of words over here. Try this one. I'll be right back. Yeah, try this one. I'll be right back. I'm back. Yeah. And let's start solving this problem. If anyone has, they can write the answer in the chat. I will anyways solve it. For the finale of a TV show, viewers could use either social media or a text message to wait for their favorite of two contestants. Okay. Contestants receiving more than 50% of the vote won. An estimated 10% of the viewers voted. Okay. And 30% of the votes were cast on social media. Okay. Now, contestant 2 earned 70% of the votes cast using social media and 40% of the votes cast using a text message. Okay. Based on this information, which of the following is an accurate conclusion? If all viewers had voted, contestant 2 would have won. Viewers voting by social media were likely to be younger than the viewers voting by text message. They have not, uh, like, there's no indication that about the age of the viewer, so this is not the case. They're not saying which one is younger, which one is not. If all the viewers who voted had voted by social media instead of by text message, contestant 2 would have won. Okay. Viewers voting by social media were more likely to prefer contestant 2 than were viewers voting by text message. Yeah, that's correct because social media 70%, right? 70% are saying that we should vote for contestant 2 using social media. Only 40% are saying that we should vote for contestant 2 using a text message. So D is the correct option. And if I have to find how much percentage it is right now, so it's 70% of 30% of 10% of X. Or because you're saying if all viewers had voted, so I'm not assuming 10% viewers voted, plus now 30% are cast on social media, so 70% have been casted on text message. So 40% of 70% of X. 7 times 3 is 21. So 0.7 times 0.3, 70% of 30% is 21%. Okay. You can write 100 over here, it's 21%. 40% of 70% of X is 28%. I'm checking for option A. If all viewers had voted, then also it would have been 49% of X, so it would not have won. Though the answer is option D, but I'm also checking the other options because more likely to prefer contestant to social media because in social media, 70% prefer contestant 2. Voting by text message, 40% prefer contestant 2. Now in option C, if all viewers who voted had voted by social media instead of by text message, so nobody is voting by text message, so X is your total viewers, 10% voted and it received 70% of the votes. So it would be 70% of 10% of X. So this is going to be 7% of X. Option C is also like correct, because viewers who had voted by social media and not by the text message, contestant 2 would have won. That's correct, because then he would have got 70%. For this, I'll have to see the answer. This is question number 8. Option. Oh, this is not question number 8. Yeah, this is option D. Okay, C is contestant receiving more than 50% of the vote won. If all the viewers who voted had voted by social media instead of by text message, contestant 2 would have won. Yeah, because we do not know about contestant 1, right? We don't know anything about contestant 1, so we cannot say if contestant 2 would have won or not. So yeah, this is option D. All right. No information about contestant 1. So you do not know if it is going to win or not. And this is 7% of X if we calculate this. All right. So here the only thing we know is that social media prefers contestant 2 rather than the people who are voting for text messages. Now the next medium question is question number 9. During the first month of sales, a company sold 1,300,000 units of a certain type of smartphone. Okay. During the same month, 15% of the units sold were returned. If the sales and the return rate remains the same for each of the next 5 months, about how many units of the smartphone will be returned to the company during this 6-month period? Because your sales and return rate remains the same, that means it is linear. So what we have to do first, we have to find 15% of 1,300,000. That's 195,000. That's for 1 month. Oh, that's too much. And now you have to multiply this number with 6. 1170,000,000. So in 1 month, the return is going to be 15% of this. That is 195,000. But they want to know in 6 months. Because return rate is same, that means your slope is going to remain the same. That means each month you're returning 195,000. So it will be 195,000 times 6. So the answer is going to be 1,000,000 170,000. For this one also to check, I will check the answer. Okay, that's correct. Whenever they say rate remain the same, that means it is a linear function. And in this particular case, it is a proportional function. How do I know it is a proportional function? X is your number of months. M is your return rate. And this is your returned units. Got it? Because when you have not started, you're not returning anything. At 0, it is 0. So 0, comma 0 is a point. That is why it is y is equal to mx. So whatever you're doing in 1 month, you have to multiply. Because 1 month means it's your slope, right? So whatever is happening in 1 month, that is only your slope. So m is going to be 195,000. X is 6, so 195,000 times 6. So 1,170,000 is going to be the answer. Okay? Remain the same, that means you just have to multiply. This is linear. Next question is question number 11. And just give me a second. I'll be right back. You can also try this one. The only thing is because there's some water somewhere. Yeah, sorry, a tap was running, so I had to go. Now I'm back. So last year, Cedric had 35 plants in his garden. This year, the number of plants in Cedric's garden is 60% greater than the number of plants in his garden last year. How many plants does Cedric have in his garden this year? So 60% greater than, that means it's 60% more. So eventually it is 160% of 35. So basically we're just finding out 60% more. That means 60% plus 100%. 160%. So basically we're just finding 160% of 35. It should be 560, but let's find out 160% of 35. 56. Not 560, it's 56. Okay? So 56 is your answer. You know, there's second method as well. I will just do it over here. You find 60% of 35. So basically you have to do 35 times 6. So basically 35 times 0 0.6. So that's 7 times 3. So this is 21. Because 35 times 2 is 70. 70 times 3 is 210. So it's 21. Next medium question is question number 13. Which expression represents the result of increasing a positive quantity W by 43%? That means 143% of W. And 143% means you have to put the decimal before the last two digits. So that is 1.43 W. This is the answer. It's not going to be 0.43 W. It's not because it is increasing by, it is not 43% of W. And because we're not reducing, this is not going to be 0.57. Got it? So whenever you're increasing by, you have to add it to 100%. Next one is question number 16. 14 is also, yeah, 40. I thought the question number was 14, yeah. So question number 14. The population of city A increased by 7% from 2015 to 2016. If the population if the 2016 population is k times the 2015 population, what is the value of k? So people will directly write 1.07. That's correct. Okay, why it is going to be 1.07? Because you are increasing by 7%. So 2016 is going to be 100% plus 7%. 107% is 1.07. That is 1.07 times 2015. And this is the equation given to us is 2016 is k times 2015. So while comparing, you can see the value of k is 1.07. So this is useful that you add the percentages only because if you first find 7% and then add it to, then it becomes a little more complicated. Okay. So it's always better to add or subtract from 100% whenever there is a question of increasing by or decreasing by. Next is question number 16. Again, the same question, which of the following represents the result of increasing the quantity by 9%? So it should be 109%, that is 1.09x. Got it? So it's not going to be x plus 0.09, it is going to be x plus 0.09x because it will be x plus 9% of x. That's why this is not the correct option. So x plus 0.09x is going to be 1.09x. I've solved it using method 2. The method that I like is you just add 9% to 100%. That is 1.09. Next is question number 17. The number k is 36% greater than 50. Okay. If k is a product of 50 and r, what is the value of r? So what we are multiplying with 50 because k is 36% greater than, so it's going to be 1.36 times 50. And they're saying k is 50r. So upon comparing, r has to be 1.36. All of them are the same question. Increasing by greater than, that means it is going to be 36% plus 100%. 136%. That is why we are multiplying with 1.36. You don't need to find anything because you're multiplying 50 with 1.36, you're multiplying 50 with r, so r has to be 1.36. Okay? Next one is question number 20. Again, the value of z is 1.13 times 100. The value of z is what percent greater than 100? 13%. How do I know directly? Because 1.13 times 100. So what percent greater than? So you have to see what you're adding to 100. You're adding 13 to 100. That is why you're getting 113. Because this means 113%. And this can be written like this. So that is why the answer is 13%. All right. Why it is 113%? Because you will move the decimal 2 places to the right. Next is question number 24. If you know this part, then everything becomes easy and it is just the repeated question. Population of Greenville increased by 7% from 2015 to 2016. 2016 is k times 2015. Answer is going to be 1.07. Because 7% means 0.07. You are adding that to 1. That also you can do. All right. So 2016 is going to be 1.07 times 2015. K times 2015. K is 1.07. I hope the concept is clear to you. 7% is going to be 0.07 because you have to put the decimal 2 digits before the last 2 digits before. So there is no digit before 7, so you have to add a 0 there. 25. In a group, 40% of the items are red. Of all the red items in the group, 30% also have stripes. What percentages of items in the group are red with stripes? 40% of the items are red. So red is going to be 40% of X because we do not know how many total items are there, right? Now, of all the red items in the group, 30% also have stripes. So stripes are 30% of red. That means you're finding 30% of 40% of X because red is 40% of X. So basically, you're just doing 30 times 40 over 100 times 100. That is 12 over 100 of X. So this is 12% of X. Got it? Because 30% is going to be 30 over 100, 40% is going to be 40 over 100. So it's 12 over 100 times X. So what percentage? Percentage is 12%. I hope this concept is also clear. You have to do multiplication, like chained multiplication whenever you have percentages of this, percentages of that. Next one is question number 26. If a number n is increased by 6%, if n is increased 6%, result is 318, what is the value of n? Okay, so n is increased 6%, that means 1.06 times n is equal to the result, and the result is 318. This is going to be your equation. So you can now just use Desmos. Instead of n, you just replace it with x. Ah, my Desmos. Answer should be 300. Let me check. Answer is 300. Because 6% of 300 is going to be 18. 6 times 3 is 18. Okay, so 6% of 300 is going to be 318. So that is increasing by 18. So if you check it back, then the answer is correct. Why it is 1.06n? Again, because you're increasing by 6%. 100 plus 6 is 106%. 106% will become 1.06. Or you could have also written 106% of n is equal to 318. All right. Because when it is normal, it is 100%. That's why we are always adding it to 100%. Next is question number 27. Same thing over here. A customer's monthly water bill was $75.74. Due to a rate increase, her monthly bill is now $79.86. To the nearest tenth of a percent, by what percent did the amount of customers' water bill increase? So they're asking you to find the percent increase, and the first question we did, we use this formula. It's new minus old divided by old times 100. Change is 79.86 minus 75.74. Older one was 75.74 times 100. Yeah, let's just put it in Desmos and get our answer. 79.786 minus 75.74, I guess. Yeah. Divided by 75.74. And we are multiplying with 100. It's 5.4 something, but still multiply with 100. 5.44. So 5 point, nearest tenth of percent, 5.4 is the closest. Got it? Also, there's another way you can solve. We can do A is equal to 79.86 minus 75.74. You've got 4.12. Now you can do A divided by, because this is your change. You will get 5.4. And if you're wondering how we're getting this formula, so to get the new value, we have been doing old plus percentage of x, like some percentage of old, right? So here we do not know how much. This is your method too. Or you can also write new is equal to 100 plus x divided by 100 times old. From there also you can see the percentage. Because this we have been using in all the formulas. Because you are increasing. How much you are increasing, we have to see. And if you put this, you can get your answer as well. Because you're adding certain percentage over here. Shift. You will get your answer. Okay? So we can also remember new is old plus some percentage of the old. Through that also you can get your answer, or you can remember this formula, new minus old over old times 100. I would prefer method 1. Next is question number 39. After 27, directly it's 39. (432) is 96% of what number? 432 is 96% of what number means x? Just put it in Desmos, you'll get your answer. Is means equal, 432 is 96 or 92% of what number? We do not know the number, right? X. And it is 96%. I was right before. And if you can't see your answer, just zoom out, you will be able to see 450 is your answer. All right. 40. Next is question number 40. What number is 40% greater than 115? It is not 40% of 40% greater than 115 means 140% of 115. So you just have to do 1.4 times 115. You can put any of these things in Desmos. Because you're increasing by 40%, so it becomes 140% because you're adding it to 100. 161. 161 is 40% greater than 115. Question number 41. 13 is p percent of 25. What is the value of p again? 13 is means equal. For Desmos, you can put x percent of 25. Thirteen is equal to x percent of 25. Answer should be 52, but here let's check. It is 52. Why? Because we have to find out of 100, so you'll multiply with 4. Because it is 13 out of 25. So for percentage, you have to find out of 100. Answer is going to be 25. Okay? But you can also directly put the equation in Desmos. But my job is also teach you the mental math. 45 is the next question, and I think 45 is the next and the last question of medium word problems. Let me write the question number. Sometimes I'm writing, sometimes I'm not. Thomas installed a new stove in his restaurant. At the time of installation, the stove had a value of 800. So had a value of 800. Okay. Thomas estimated that each year value of stove will depreciate by 20% of the previous year's estimated value. Depreciate means decrease. For example, if someone is always criticizing you and never appreciating you, you can say, you're depreciating me. Okay? That's an actual word. So what is the estimated value of the stove exactly 2 years after the Thomas installed it? So this is your exponential function. So exponential function, if it is increasing, then y is the original value a times 1 plus r to the power x. X is the number of years. R is r over 100. That is percentage of increase in decimals. That's also important. And a is your old value. And what is y? Y is your new value. And now if you're decreasing by x, it is going to be y is equal to a times 1 minus r to the power x. In that case, you will be subtracting, everything else remains the same. So here we are decreasing. So over here, the value of a is, initially the value was 520, $800. Okay. R is going to be, we have to get the value in decimals, 20%, that is your 0.2. And the value of x, because you have to find out after 2 years, the value of x is 2. So y is going to be 800 times 1 minus 0.2 squared. For this you will get your answer. 800 times 1 minus 0.2 is actually 0.8. So you can also write 0.8. 512. Because it is decreasing after 2 years, it is going to be 512. So this is method 1. In the second method, you know each year it is becoming 80% of previous year. Why 80%? Because 100 minus 20%. Because you are decreasing. So after 1 year, it will be 80% of 800. After 2 years, it will be 80% of 1 year. And this is going to be 80% of 800. So this also you can put in Desmos and get your answer. So 80% of 800. Answer is going to be 512 only. Got it? But the exponential one is a better one. What if they were asking about 5 years? What if they were asking about 10 years? So exponential, using the exponential equation is a better option. So whenever you are increasing or decreasing by a percentage, it is exponential. If you are doing it only once, the value of x is going to be 1. That is why I have not taught that concept over there. But here they're talking about 2 years. That is why these are the formulas and these are the meaning of everything. Even your compound interest, it's the same formula. I hope you understand this. So whenever you are increasing or decreasing by a percentage, it is exponential and the formula is a times 1 plus r to the power x if you are increasing, or a times 1 minus r to the power x if you are decreasing. So we have not covered this if you're just doing for 1 year, because it will just be a times 1 plus r or a times 1 minus r. Alright? R is your percentage of increase or percentage of decrease in decimals. For example, if you are increasing by 20%, it will be 1 plus 0.2, that is 1.2 times the previous value. Or if you are decreasing, it will be 100 minus 20% is 80%. So 0.8 of the previous value. There are 16 hard problems. So this is like equally distributed almost. Yeah. So the hard problems also, I will take a small break and then we will do the hard problems. And the first hard problem is question number 1 only. So if you want to try, you can try question number 1. And this is all word problems, like all of them are word problems. I'll also mention that in the description. Try to read the question and then see if you're able to get the answer. And we'll solve it after I come back after a small break. Yeah, so I'm back after a short break. Let's start with the hard problems. Jennifer bought a box of crunchy grains. That's question number 1. I'll again mention it. The nutrition facts on the box state that a serving size of cereal is 3/4 cup and provides 210 calories, 50 of which are calories from fat. In each serving of cereal, 180 milligrams of potassium, okay, which is 5% of the daily allowance for adults. If P% of an adult's daily allowance of potassium is provided by X servings of crunchy grain cereal per day, which of the following expresses P in terms of X? So each serving provides 180 milligrams, which is 5% of the daily allowance. Hmm. P% of adults' daily allowance is provided by X servings of crunchy grain cereals per day. Which of the following expresses P in terms of X? And one serving is providing 5% of the daily allowance. Mhm. The nutrition facts in the box states that a serving size of the cereal is 3/4 cup and provides 210 calories, 50 of which are calories from fat. That's not important. Okay. So if there is no serving, then there is no percentage, right? For one serving, there is 5%. If you're doing two servings, then it has to be 10%. That's what I'm assuming. So if I write P, if I write X, X is the number of servings. So if you have one serving, this is 5%. If you're having X servings, this is having P%, right? So now you can just cross multiply and get your answer. P is equal to 5X. This is our answer. So basically, I was just thinking whether this is going to be a linear or non-linear. So this is linear because one serving is 5%. Two servings means they're taking 10% of the daily allowance. Okay, because it is not 5% of servings. Got it? Yeah. So for one serving, it is 5%. For two servings, it is going to be 10%. So now you can just make the ratio table. For one, it is 5. For X, it is P. Now you cross multiply. P is going to be equal to 5X. That is it. All the other information, that's just garbage. You just need to know that each serving is 5% and P% is provided by X servings. All of that, we don't need that information at all. Now the next is question number 2. A school district is forming a committee to discuss plans for construction of a new high school. Of those invited to join the committee, 15% are parents of students, so 15% are parents. 45% are teachers from the current high school, okay? 25% are school and district administrators, okay? And the remaining 6 individuals are students. Okay. How many more teachers were invited to join the committee than school and district administrators? Okay. So we have parents. I'm writing parents for P. Those are 15%. Then I have teachers, that is T, 45%. Then I have school and district administrators, SDA, that is 25%. I have to identify how many are remaining. Those are your students. I'm just writing S over there. So total has to be 100%. When you add everything, it has to be 100%. So this is your 100%. So out of that, you have 45, 15, and 25. 85%. So remaining is 100 minus 85, that's 15%. How we are getting this? 100 minus 15 plus 45 plus 25. Got it. If you want to do mental math, you can also do that. 40 plus 20 is 60, 60 plus 10 is 70, 70 plus 10 is 80, 80 plus 5 is 85. So remaining has to be 15%. Now, and those 15% is your 6. So for these problems, I will make the table. So in table, we will write two different words. One is your percentage word that we have written over here. And here I'll write the actual value. So actual value is 6, right? For the students remaining. Why I'm doing this? Because then we can just cross multiply and get our answers. What do you want to know? How many more teachers were invited? So how many more? That means they want a subtraction. So they want to know T minus SDA. Teachers minus district administrators. So this is going to be 45 minus 25% is 20%. All right. Yeah. And you have to find this value. So now we will ignore everything else. We have our 4 values through which we can cross multiply. So 15x is equal to 20 times 6. And this is the shortest method through which you can solve these kind of problems. So 15x is 120. X is going to be 8. So how many more? 8 more. So 8 is your answer. Got it? So whatever info is given, we write that. And we take two different rows. One is of the percentage values. The other one is of the actual values. So whatever is given, we write that. Okay. So what you would have done, you would have first found out, the longer method would be you first find out how many total are there, because 15% is 6. So what will be 100%? And then you find out how many teachers are there, how many school and district administrators are there, and then you subtract it. Too many steps. Or you would, even if you're cross multiplying, you will first find out teachers, then you will find out school and district administrators. No need. They just want to know how many more. That means they're only interested in the subtraction of teachers and school and district administrators. So this question is solved in just one single step, like three steps. You write these values, you write these values, and then we're done. You just cross multiply, we are done. So this is the shortest way to solve these kind of problems. Okay? I hope you get this. We just have to find the percentage of the remaining, because the actual value of the remaining is given. And we are doing this 20% and X because that is what we have to find out. Any other method, because those are just lengthy. They're very lengthy. Next is question number 2. Oh, this was question number 2. Next is question number 4. Okay, table is given, 2012, 2013 values are given. Manager of an online news service received the report above on the number of subscriptions sold by the service. Manager estimated that the percent increase from 2012 to 2013 would be double the percent increase from 2013 to 2014. How many subscriptions did the manager expect would be sold in 2014? So first we need to know percent increase from 2012 to 2013. That is what we will find out first. This is a multi-step problem. So for percent, I will just write the sign of percentage. It will be new minus old divided by old times 100. That's 5880 minus, I think, 5600. Yeah. And new is your to, old is your from. Can cut the zeros. Basically, we're just finding out 5880 minus 5600. You just have to put the close parentheses or close bracket, open bracket, they automatically take 5. Now, percent increase from 2012 to 2013 would be double the percent increase from 2013 to 2014. That means it is going to be half of it. From 2012 to 2013 is double the percent increase. You don't have to write all of this. I'm writing so that you are able to understand. So this is 5. And let me call it y. So your y is going to be 5 over 2. So basically there is 2.5% increase. Now what do they want? They want how many subscriptions would be sold in 2014. So the original is 5880. So if this is 2.5% increase, that means the total percentage is 100 plus 2.5%. That is 102.5%. That's so yeah. So basically in 2014, it is going to be 102.5% of 2013. 102.5% of 5880. Don't write 2013 2014 because they are the like years. You have to find the subscriptions. So basically, we're just finding 102.5% of 5880. Percent of 5880. Answer is 6027. So their estimation is going to be 6027. So first you find percent of increase from 2012 to 2013. Then you take half of it because it is double of the new percent of increase. And then you have got the percent of increase. Now you find the percentage and you find 102.5% of 5880. So these are the 3 steps that have to be done in this particular question. All right? Yeah. Next is question number 5. The line graph shows the total amount of snow. Also, let me check the options. Nah. I was like, if 3 of the options are less than 5880, then we can just do process of elimination. But here we can't do process of elimination. Like I told you, the Ganpati Visarjan has started. Thank God I started earlier. We still have like almost 10 more questions to go, 13 more questions. I'll just close the windows and come. Oh my God, it is. Okay, I will try to speak louder. The line graph shows the total amount of snow in inches recorded each year in Washington, D.C. from 2003 to 2015. If P% is the percent decrease in the annual snowfall from 2003 to 2007, what is the value of P? From 2003 to 2007. So percentage of decrease is also going to be new minus old divided by old. You will just get a negative value and you don't have to write that negative value. Okay? So in decrease, you will get a negative value in the formula. New is 2007, old is the value in 2003. So in 2003 it is 40 and in 2007 it is 10. So 10 minus 40 over 40 times 100. You don't have to write the smaller value, you have to write the from value. Remember that. So 3/4 times 100, that's 75%. Oh my God, so the value of P is 75. You're getting a negative value because negative indicates that it is decreasing. So you don't have to take the negative into account. Why? Because they're already saying this is percent decrease. Or if you want, you can use Desmos as well. 75%. Got it? Next one is question number 18. So after 5, it's directly 18. A number A is 70% less than the positive number B. The number C is 80% greater than A. The number C is how many times B? So A is equal to 70% less than means what? 30% of B. Okay, now number C is 80% greater than A. 80% greater than A means what? 180% of A. Because in greater you are adding 200. Now they want to know C is how many times B. So A is 30% of B, so you can write that over here. So it's actually 180 times 30 over 100 times B. Because of means multiplication. You can cancel the zeros. 18 times 3 is 54. So C is 0.54 times B. You can also write this as 0.3B. This is 1.8A and 1.8 times 0.3B. Then also you will get 0.54B. And I would prefer that method. because 180% is 1.8A and A is 0.3B. So how many times? 0.54 times. So 0.54 is your answer. Got it? I prefer the decimal values because it's easier to multiply them. Otherwise, it gets a little more complicated. Yeah. So A is 70% less than, that means it is 30% of B. 80% greater means it is 180% of A. Okay? And you've got your answers. Next is question number 19. $210 is P% greater than 30. What is the value of P? So 210 P% greater, when they're saying, so it is like 100. There are two ways you can write. You can also write 30 plus P% of 30. We have already done this kind of question, and this you can put in Desmos. Okay? This is your method 1. Or P% greater, that means P% is your percentage of increase. So you can also use that new minus old divided by old times 100. New is 210, old was 30. 7 minus 1, 6. 600% greater actually. So value of P is 600. So it is actually 600% greater. Because P% is equal to 600, P is 600. This also you can put in Desmos and you will get the value of P. Other way 210 is 7 times 30, right? So this is 700 over 100 times 30. So overall it's 100%. So you increase, that's just too much. This is what I would prefer. Okay. So the value of X is 600. So this is 600% greater. So yeah, you can use any of these methods. Both are fine. I like both of them because you have the formula for percentage of increase as well. Next is question number 30. Okay, according to the 2010 census, the adult population aged 18 years or greater in 2010 was this much, a very big number. In 2010, a survey was conducted among a randomly chosen sample of adults aged 20 years or greater in the United States about their preference to live in a warm climate or a cool climate. This is the result. So they surveyed 1,600 people. Which of the following is closest to the difference between the percentages of the adults aged 18 to 50 years who responded warm and the percentage of adults aged 51 years or greater who responded warm? Okay, so we have to find the percentages of people who warm amongst 18 to 50 years. So 18 to 50 is bifurcated, so we'll have to take both of them. And because we're talking about warm, this and this is going to be your total. Okay. And now 51 years or greater, because 18 to 50 is 18 to 35 plus 36 to 50. Warm are 295 plus 246. Total 18 to 50 people are 508 plus 410. 51 years or greater, so it has to be both of them again. 51 to 65 greater than 65. So these are warm, these are total. Step 1. X percent of 18 to 50 is equal to warm. Okay. So I'm directly giving you the equation. So X percent of 18 to 50 is how much? 508 plus 410. And warm is how much? Warm is 295 plus 246. Or who are like the formula for percentages is part over whole times 100. You can also use that formula. I don't mind that as well. Part is going to be 295 plus 246. Whole is going to be 508 plus 410 times 100. Whichever you are comfortable with. I will be using this because I can directly get my answer in just one step. X percent of, because we are adding according to the rule of PEMDAS or BODMAS, because we want addition first, we'll use a parentheses. 5 or brackets. 508 plus 410 equals 295 plus 246. And I'm getting 58.9%. So you can say 60% approximately. Or 59%. Okay. So for this particular question, I'm going above because I don't have space below. So step 2 is going to be, let's say y percent of 51 or greater. And those responded warm. We do not know the percentage. 51 or greater are 403 plus 279. Warm are 238 plus 137. You will get your percentage value from here. What are we adding? 403, 279. And that is equal to 238 plus 137. Whenever you're taking y, you're going to get a horizontal. If you write x over here, then you will be getting this. Okay. So this is 54.9%. And now you have to find the difference. So step 3 is going to be the difference. 58.9 minus 54.9. That's 5%, so 5% is your answer. Got it? So first you're finding the percentage of the people who responded warm, and uh, people that we're taking are 18 to 50 years old. So your total is going to be 508 plus 410. Warm is going to be 295 plus 246. Now 51 years or greater, you have to take the last two rows. So total is going to be 403 plus 279. Warm is 238 plus 137. So you find their individual percentages and then you just subtract them, you will get your answer. And actually it is going to be 4%. My bad. 58 minus 54 is 4. What I was thinking. Okay, here also you can write. Fifty-four, 58. 58 minus 54 is 4% approximately. Got it? So we are finding two different percentages. Yes, Pev, we can do that at the end. Just let me know what is the question number. And here, hi. Okay. So the only thing is that you have to add them together because 18 to 50 is comprising of these two rows and 51 years or greater is comprising of these rows. All right. Next question is question number 32, which I've written steps because there was no space. So step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay. So we're finding the percentages, then we're just subtracting them. 32 is the next one. Again, we have seen this kind of question before. Just the values are different. A is 70% less than positive number B. So A is 30% of B. That is 0.3 times B. Why 30%? Because 100 minus 70 is your 30. Now C is 60% greater than A, so this is 160% of A. That means 1.6 A. 100 plus 60. Now you have to see C is how many times B. So again, A is 0.3 B. So 1.6 times 0.3 is going to be 0.48 B. And they're not asking how much percentage, it's just asking how many times. So answer is 0.48. Because C is 0.48 times B. Got it? Next is question number 33. Again, the same question, but this one is a little different. Value of A is 110% greater than the number B. So 110% greater than, that means you'll have to add 110 to 100. That is 210% of B. That means 2.1 B. Now number B is 90% less than 47. 90% less than 47 means 100 minus 90%. 10% of 47. 10% of 47 is going to be 4.7 because you just have to divide by 10. That we have seen before. Now your B is 4.7. You have to find the value of A. So A is going to be 2.1 times 4.7. Use the calculator. A is 9.87. So 90% less than means it's 10%. 110% greater than means it's 210% because you're adding 100 there. Here you're subtracting from 100. Okay? Because this will be simply 47 over 10, that is 4.7. Next one is question number 38. Again, the same kind of question. There are two relationships given to you. W is 110% greater than the number Z. So we have seen before it is going to be 210% of Z. That means 2.1 Z. because 100 plus 110%. Now Z is 55% less than, that means we're doing 100 minus 55%, that is 45% of 50. Okay, so this is 0.45 times 50. And you have to find the value of W. So W you can simply write 2.1 times 0.45 times 50. $47.25. So this is our answer. I hope the less than and the greater than concept is clear. It is actually 110% greater than number Z is Z plus 110% of Z. 55% less than 50 is 50 minus 55% of Z. So basically you're adding to 100%, you're subtracting from 100%. 2.1, 0.45, 50. I'm just checking the values. 47.25 is correct. Got it, Spev. We'll cover this at the end of the class. We've done nonlinear functions before, but I will cover this particular question again for you. Now, after 38, we have 43. So a gift shop buys souvenirs at a wholesale price of $7 each. Okay. They're buying at $7 each, resells them each at a retail price that is 290% of the wholesale price. So there is no increase or decrease. They're directly saying it is 290% of wholesale price. At the end of the season, any remaining souvenirs are marked at a discounted price that is 80% off. When you have double off, that means it is decrease, 80% decrease. The retail price. What is the discounted price of each remaining souvenir in dollars? Okay. So we have to find out the discounted price. And we can see that discounted price is 80% off retail price. That means it is 20% of retail price. Why 20%? Because 100 minus 80%. Off means you're decreasing. Now, do we know the retail price? We do not know the retail price. So I can say this is 0.2 times retail price. Now, what do we know about retail price? Because unless I have my retail price, I can't find my discounted price. Retail price is 290% of wholesale price. That means 2.9 times wholesale price is 7. So basically 0.2, or I can say 20% of 290% of 7. $4.06. You can choose not to write this and directly write 20% of 290% of 7 because your wholesale price is 7. Okay. So the discounted price in dollars is 4.07. That is your answer. If you want, you can first find out 290% of 7, 20.3. Oh my God. And then just 20% of 20.3. 4.06. Okay, 4.06 is the answer. I think before also we were getting 4.06. Yeah, 4.06. I don't know why I wrote 4.07. So these are like chained percentage problems. So you see, even then they're making so much profit because it was $7. So their retail price is way higher than their wholesale price. So even if they're giving you the discount, they're still in profit. After 43, we have 47. Regular price of a shirt at a store is $11.70. The sale price of the shirt is 80% less than the regular price. That means it is 20%. And the sale price is 30% greater than the store's cost for the shirt. Okay. What was the store's cost in dollars for the shirt? So what do we have? Sale price, I can write SP. 80% less than, that means 20% of regular price. And sale price is 30% greater, that means 130% of store's cost. And this is what we have to find out. Why 130? Because 30% greater means 100 plus 30. Why 20%? Because 80% less means you have to subtract from 100. Now regular price is 11.70. Now here both of them are talking about sale price, so we can make them equal. So basically 20% of 11.70 is equal to 130% of x. Put this in Desmos, you will get your answer. One 30% of x. 1.8 is a... Oh my God. They're selling the shirt of 1.8 for $11.70. That's just too much. But okay, their choice. So x we are getting as 1.8. And because they want the answer in dollars, so you can write 1.8 or you can also write 1.80. There are two different equations given for sale price. We just make them equal to each other. Because this is also the sale price, this is also the sale price. Regular price is given to you as 11.70. Cost you have to find out. And that is how we solve this particular question. Next is question number 15. And I will be right back. Just give me a second. Yeah, now question number 15. According to a set of standards, a certain type of substance can contain a maximum of 0.001% phosphorus by mass. Okay. If a sample of this substance has a mass of 140 grams, what is the maximum mass in grams of phosphorus a sample can contain to meet these standards? Contain a maximum of 0.001% phosphorus by mass. So it's going to be 0.001% of 140. That's what they're asking. So yeah, you just use decimal 0.001%. Answer is 0.0014 because they want the answer in grams. Zero zero 140, 0.0014. So 0.0014 is your answer. Because 0.001% is phosphorus. Next is question number 51. So 37% of the items are in a box are green. Of those, 37% are also rectangular. Of the green rectangular items, 42% are also metal. Okay. Which of the following is closest to the percentage of items in the box that are not rectangular green metal items? So 37% are green. Then out of those 37% are rectangular. And out of green rectangular, 42% are metal. So not you just have to subtract from 100. So basically first I will find out how many are rectangular green metal. That is 42% of green rectangular. Now rectangular are 42% of 37% of green. And green is 42% of 37% of 37% of total. So basically you have to multiply 42 over 100 times 37 over 100 times 37 over 100. Got it? This is also a chained thing. And if you want percentage, always write 100. So instead of x, you can write 100. Whenever total is not given to you, take total as 100. So that means 42, 37, those becomes just the numbers. So basically now we can just find out 42% of 37% of 37% of 100. 5.7498% are, I will call this A. So how many are not? 94.25% are not green rectangular metal items. Not just rectangular green metals is also important. I hope you got it. Okay. So whenever x is not, the total is not given in these kind of questions, you can take it as 100. So then you're just finding 42% of 37% of 37% of 100. All right, and the answer is 94.25% is not rectangular green metal items because 5 point something was rectangular green items, 5.74 or 5.75. Next is question number 52. Again, we have done this question. B is 60% greater, so B is 1.6. Sorry, A is 160% greater. So A is 160% of B. That means A is 1.6 B. C is 45% less than A. So this is 0.55 A. And now you just have to multiply 0.55 times 1.6. (0.88). So C is how many times B? (0.88) is your answer. Now the last question is question number 53. Okay, so the value of a collectible comic book increased by 167% from 2011 to 2012. I always get stuck in these things. 160% from 2011 to 2012, and then decreased by 16% from 2012 to 2013. Okay, what was the net percentage increase in the value of collectible comic from 2012 to 2013? So 2012 is going to be 267% of 2011, because 167% increase, that means 100 plus 167. Now in 2000, okay, somebody has rung the bell. So yeah, so there are guests in my house. So I will, anyways, this is the last question. I will just cover this problem and the cover told by Spev, and then we'll end the class. Yeah. So in 2013, it is decreasing by 16%. So we have to do 100 minus 16. That's going to be 84%. So this is 84% of in 2012. 100 minus 16%. So now they want to know the relationship between 2013 and 2011. So this is 84% of, in 2012 it is 267% of in 2011. And like I told you, because you do not know in 2011, so you do not know how to solve this, so you can just take it 100. Because then whatever value you're getting, that is going to be your total percentage. So basically we have to find 84% of 267% of 100. 224.28. So this is 224.28% of in 2011. But that is not your answer, because they're not asking what percentage, they're asking percentage increase. So you have to subtract 100 from it. (124.28% increase). Got it? Because you'll have to subtract 100 from it. Only then you will get percentage of increase. So see if you understand this. So it's 2.67% of in 2011. It is 84% of in 2012. So 84% of 267% of in 2011. So 84 times 267. So we will just divide by 100 so that it remains the percentage. So 224.28% of in 2011. So this is what? This is 100 plus percentage of increase. That is why your percentage of increase is 124.28. That is it. That's the last question that we have done. I hope this was clear. Now I'm just going to see if we have covered every single question. Yeah, 26 also we did, but I will also put the number. Eating was done, right? Yeah, it was done. That is it. We are done. Yes, Pev, I'm solving your question. Yeah. I hope you got it. So now your question, it's nonlinear function. Let me pull it up. I have it, and now the ID is 263F9937. 263F. I don't have anything like that. Are you sure this is nonlinear functions and not nonlinear equations? Because over here I'm not able to see anything. So I will try nonlinear equations as well. Oh, I have opened nonlinear equations. My bad. Yeah. So 263, yeah, got it. F9937. Yeah. So it's over here. So growth of culture of bacteria, you can see I'm multiplying with 2 directly, but yeah, even if you want to know. So Desmos modeling is very helpful in this because as you know, you're not adding the same thing. And whenever they're talking about bacteria, that means it is going to, and they've given exponential rate. I was like, how do you know it is exponential rate? Even if they have not given, bacteria grows at an exponential rate. So for exponential rate, your equation is y is equal to a times b to the power x. So in Desmos modeling, what you will do, you will go to Desmos, make the table, write all these three values, 1, 2, 3, 2.5 times 10 to the power 5. Then you have 5 times 10 to the power 5. I can directly see you multiplying with 2. If you're not, then it's okay. All right. You have your table, and then you will write the general exponential equation. And for modeling, we use y1 and x1. So y1, the tilde sign, a times b to the power x1. You have got the values of a and b. And now what they want to know? On which day the number of bacteria per millimeter reach 5.12 times 10 to the power 8. So this is your y value. You have to find the x value. So 5.12 times 10 to the power 8 is equal to a times b to the power x. The answer will be 12. So we'll do it again. No worries. 1, 2, 3. 2.5 times 10 to the power 5. 5 times 10 to the power 5. And 1 times 10 to the power 6. Then y1 tilde sign a times b to the power x1. Now the y value is given as 5.12 times 10 to the power 8. And you have to find the x value, so a times b to the power x. Okay, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So yeah, you can see the value is 12. Okay. So day 12 is your answer. So there are three steps whenever we are doing the Desmos modeling. You write the table, you write the equation, like y1 tilde and whatever the equation. If it's linear, ax1 plus b. If it's exponential, a times b to the power x1. And then in the third, those two steps are also fine if they're just looking for equation. But if there's a third step, they will give you either x value or y value, and they will ask for the other one. So here y value is given, so you just replace y with that and you will get your x value. So I hope you understand this step. So this is the benefit of Desmos modeling. Yeah, thank you so much. That is it, we are done. The next demand is for scatter plots. So we'll be doing the two variable statistics next time. Okay, and then again we'll move forward to and this percentage problem, this was all word problems. And yes, it can get a little difficult also, but remember the table method that I did for the first question. Whenever you have lots of values, just take the percentage values, the actual values, and then see where you can make a cross multiply thing, where you have the 4 values, and just get whatever you want to know. So that will decrease the number of steps. Yeah, and that is it. We're done for today, and I'll be coming soon, maybe on Friday, but let's see. Yeah, okay, thank you so much. You've been a great audience, and yeah, thank you. And happy like Ganesh Visarjan. Though this is not Chaturdashi, like this is not the 10th day, but some people do it after 5th day also. So yeah, bye. Bye.